Come explore ancient wisdoms and groundbreaking practices. We'll travel the world, do wacky experiments, and have delightful guests. I'll lead you in deep meditations, all to give you the takeaways so you can live energized, enlivened, and empowered. I'm Dr. David, and this is Aliveness Now. Parenting the Dragon Wings way. Create aliveness in your family. In this episode, we're going to help you learn to parent the Dragon Wings way. The Dragon Wings way is the way of aliveness. It helps your family, each individual in your family, be energized, enlivened, and empowered. When my daughter was 6, she saw me developing the Love Springs game, which is for couples and individuals to learn how to become alive in their love. So as we're unboxing the games when they first came, she said, "Well, Daddy, kids need to learn to relate too. And we're going to create a game called Dragon Wings, where the kids get their wings and learn how to fly." I thought, wow, it was brilliant, because that's how you change the world, helping kids learn to relate. But I also know that it's about the parents learning how to relate with their kids and families learning how to relate in a way that has this aliveness to it. So we created the game. It's available on Amazon. As you play it, you develop your relationships, whether it's kids playing and developing, learning, and creating a relationship within themselves, and or whether it's a parent or parents playing with their children. There are family therapists who use it and say it's my go-to vehicle to help these families learn how to relate and helping them come back with more understanding and delight in being a family. Well, the game requires at least one kid between 5 and say 12 or 13. The Dragon Wings way applies to all families. Just understanding what it's like to create aliveness in a family. That's our topic for this episode. Well, first, understanding what a family is. It's a path of relationship between you and your kids and your spouse. It's this relationship amongst people. It's a group. A relationship is always inside some type of commitment. Now, to me, there's an inherent commitment. Once I have a kid, there's a commitment I have to that child. How do I fulfill it? What is my exact commitment? So think of the commitments, the container, and then the relationships inside. How well I relate makes it energizing or not, because every commitment takes some energy. Relationships are what create energy. Are your relationships in your family creating energy, or are they draining? This path of relationship with our kids and our family has many different commitments within it. So think of it as a path with many commitments with relationships inside. Now, the commitments we make, are they fulfilled or easily fulfilled? If they're not, you're going to feel a drain within your family. So perceiving, what are my commitments? Sometimes the commitments are never fulfillable. Like one time I had a commitment, I have to be with my kids 100% of the time to be a good father. I can't be with them 100% of the time. I was divorced at the time. I only had them half the time anyway. When I shifted the commitment to I'll be there with them when I choose to be, can be, and they choose to be. Making it so fulfillable, because I can be with them when I'm with them. But I couldn't be with them all the time. Sometimes people have a commitment, say a father or the mother, I have to make this much money in order to be a good parent, and have a commitment that's way more than where you're at right now. So there'll be always this unfulfilling experience of never having enough, never making enough, never doing enough for them. So where do you have the unfulfilled commitments? I have to do everything for them. They have to be perfect to have it be okay. These are commitments and stories that just aren't going to be fulfilled. So define what commitments haven't you voiced that are in your background? of your mind, like the one I have to be there 100% of the time with them, when it wasn't something in my forefront of my mind until I started realizing, okay, if something feels draining, what is it? And boom, there came to my mind. Look to what are the commitments within the family. We have to keep the house perfect. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one. What's perfect? It's never fulfillable. So take and chunk down your commitments. Look at them. What's creating a drain in your family? If it's a drain, there are relationships that aren't being fulfilled. There are commitments that aren't being fulfilled. So the first step in the Dragon Wings way is looking at what are our commitments. What have in our minds been committed? A lot of times this whole family commitments, that's how it is to be a family. We have to be that way. I have to keep them under control. They have to respect their elders. Rather than, hey, I respect the kids and they will respect me. We're going to go into how to do the relating, how to understand where a child is at in subsequent segments here. In every relationship, there are 3 guides. A family is no different. The first guide is vision. How do you want it to be? It's not really be. How do you want it to feel in your family? In, say, 6 months or a year. Where are you headed in this relationship called a family? Your relationship with your child. Your relationship as parents. Each of those relationships deserves vision. Without vision, how are we going to get there? You have no place to apply the second guide, which is wisdom. And you need to then create wisdom to help fulfill your vision. But no matter how much wisdom you have, if you don't know where you're headed, don't have vision of where you're going, you won't get there. How will you get there? What's there? So your first step right now, how do you want it to feel to be relating to your children or child or spouse? So work with that for a moment. How do you want it to feel? How do I want it to feel to relate within this family? In 6 months or a year, not right now necessarily, but we're going that direction. And you'll start choosing your wisdom or using your wisdom more easily, more smoothly. It's going to take you somewhere. Creating vision is the simplest, but yet most powerful meditation that's going to help you create the family you're looking for. The aliveness that you want to have that's going to support the growth of your children. This is one of the things you have for these kids, is to help them develop. But it takes you developing, you coming to who you are. We're going to work with that. The third guide is flow. How do you make the steps to create the aliveness in your family? Have experiences that develop that depth. That is what the Dragon Wings game is for. But you can find in ways appropriate for your family to take that step of aliveness together. Now, let's go deeper into commitments that we can create that engender a live relationship. So remember, each path of relationship is the sum of all the commitments and relationships we have with that person. So taking it out of, hey, I just have this relationship, this one commitment. No, you have many commitments, many relationships. Some commitments we may not fulfill, and that's going to be a little drain. But if we have enough that are being fulfilled in an alive way or over-fulfilled, there's a lot of extra energy. So one possible commitment you can add in that's very simple in each of your relationships, but especially with your child, that each day, or you could each week, depends upon what's appropriate for your situation, I'm going to have an experience of depth with my child. I'm going to be right with them in this moment, to experience this now moment with them, totally with them. Can you commit to that? Another commitment you can create is a commitment to help them develop as a child, as you can and as you choose to, as is possible. So make sure it's not overwhelming. Don't make it something you can't fulfill. You're just going to help them. You can be there for them as they develop. You're going to commit to honoring their developmental process. That takes a lot of pressure off You making them little mini adults that they got to act like an adult right now. They're not. They're in a developmental space. Your job, I believe, is to help them, be there for them as they develop. Give them space to develop. Another commitment that will engender your aliveness in your family is committing to learning and practicing relationship skills. Commit to developing your ability to relate, but not having the commitment, I have to relate perfectly to them. I have to make sure everything's just right. It cannot be fulfillable. They have to act just perfectly or I'm a bad parent. There's some commitment that isn't going to work. I'm going to help them develop. I'm going to observe them, commit to observing them to see where they are. That you can do. Another engendering commitment that will help you have aliveness within your family is choosing that you're going to say to them, I love watching you play. I love watching you be who you are. Not trying to tell them they should do this better or that better. There was a study with athletes, student athletes, young athletes. They were so fulfilled when their parents would just say to them, I love watching you play. Not, you should have done this pass better, you should have done that better, or why didn't you win, why didn't you do that? That they hated. They felt very unfulfilled. It was very, draining for them. When you as a parent can just look at them and say, I love watching you play, eat your food, just love watching you. You can do this with your spouse too. What do you love watching them do? It feels so good to be told that. I love watching you as you just be you. It's so cool. So make a commitment around that. Do that often. It's also a relationship skill. Make it a skill you learn. Pretty cool. What is easily fulfillable right now? Or at least during this week. It's not goals. Goals are mental things I'm going to put out ahead of myself, and goals I can change easily. Commitments, in English we say we have to break a commitment. That's why they're very powerful. So don't make commitments be these long-term goals. Commit to what you can create right now, what you can easily fulfill. Have goals, but no, goals aren't commitments. You can make short commitments to help you get to a goal. That works much better. Each commitment has a size, a duration, and a shape. Look in your commitments, or these unvoiced commitments, where is the size too big to ever be fulfilled? Look for the duration. I'm going to be your parent for your whole life. Don't make it too big. Don't make it so much so that when they're 40, you're still trying to parent them. Let them be adults. Help them develop so they come through into their own adulthood in their own way so they can parent. What's the shape? Could be really strange shapes that really aren't appropriate in parenting and children. There is that shape where the parent is better than the child. That's not going to work in any relationship where one is better than the other. You have different roles, but one isn't better. Both deserve respect. Be endearing to your children. Let you be amazed by how they develop and who they are as a human being. Parenting the Dragon Wings way. Find the Dragon Wings game. If you have children between 5 and 12 or 13, get the game. Again, the game isn't something you have to always finish. It's learning that each individual little exercise and step, you can do those outside the game. But they take you to where you have a moment of connection with that child. They understand you, understand themselves better, learn how to develop. So there's a lot of suggestions within the game that you can take outside the game to do it, to help these children, to help your parenting skills, help your family come alive. It's really cool. Now, having aliveness in a family will help change the world. Get on board. Learn the skills. The cool thing with the Dragon Wings game is we made it just so it's really fun. You don't even think it has anything to do with creating a better relationship. It's not, we're going to create a better relationship now. It's a game that as you play, you get connected and go deep during that period of time. With so much taking our children's attention into their phones, into their tablets, into this or that, when you have a venue that you can take and explore your relationship with them for an hour a week or an hour every couple of weeks, that depth of that hour is going to do more than the lack of depth during that same time for a longer time. All right. Next segment, we're going to talk about how to develop yourself as a parent, how to understand the development of who you are so you can continue to grow, to allow your children they copy us. So if we're developing and growing and changing, they're going to do that too. They may not seem like it, but I found even 6 months, a year down the line, then they're repeating the things I used to say. When in the moment, same with the game. At first, do I want to do this? But after a little while, it becomes part of the truth of the family that we connect in this way. This is how our family is. All right, see you next segment. I'm Dr. David. You're listening to Aliveness Now on the Transformation Network. Let's take a break. My show, Aliveness Now, is Transformation Talk TV's surprisingly quirky variety show. It has a companion app called Love Springs. Love Springs is a step-by-step journey, taking you deeper and deeper into the concepts of each episode. There's secret knowledge, groundbreaking practices, and fun quizzes. Find Love Springs at your favorite app store or visit createaliveness.com. In this segment in our series on parenting the Dragon Wings way, we're going to discuss how can you grow and develop as an individual. Because as you grow and develop, your kids copy that. At least they grow and develop too. They'll see that's how life is. That's where they're looking for. They're looking for, how do I croak like my parents to attract a mate, I guess. I don't know. But it's like they copy how we are. If we're developing, becoming more alive and more new, they will too. So the first question to ask, do you have dragonpox? Well, dragonpox is an affliction of busy adults and some kids. It prevents relaxation and the enjoyment of play. The afflicted have a difficult time being present, enjoying life right now, and receiving the love of others. Wow. Dragonpox. I was getting dragonpox when I first had my child, my first baby. I was laying there and she was laying on my chest, sleeping on my chest. I was so filled with bliss. It was amazing. But as I was letting that in, I must have reached a limit. All of a sudden, I have to call Scott. I didn't have to call Scott, but my brain made me think of something other than the bliss. It didn't allow me just to stay in that. It alerted me to go, wait a minute. Look how I'm not able to be there in this space. Then as I would read to her, I'd get sleepy. Trying to play a game with her, I'd conk out. Dragonpox. So I cured it with lots of sessions with Dr. Seuss. I read and made lots of yellow brick roads on sidewalks. And then I developed Dragon Wings. It's a cure for this affliction. Learning to relate to your children and yourself changes how present you can be in the moment with your child and have it be energizing. Don't fade away into this disconnection that many parents, many adults have done, where they get more contained within their little sphere and have very little ability, very little flexibility to jump up to play, to jump up to read and congratulate and be alive and happy for the children and their spouse. Don't lose yourself. Don't get locked into this sad space. The first idea then is relating to this now moment. That helps you get out of this dragon pox space, to be able to be present here and just enjoy being right next to these flowers. It's so cool. The sun shining. It's an alive day. Can I just gain energy by relating in this moment? I couldn't do it for very long for a while. But now I probably could do this for quite a while. Just, yeah, feels so good. Because when you fulfill that relationship, when you are relating that depth, fulfilling the commitment to be alive right now, lots of energy is available for you. So strength in the moment is your first step. Practice how to be alive in this moment. Don't lose this childhood awe of being alive. Remember to laugh. Find the laughter in the moment again. A lot of my teachings, and that's where you can go back, look at some of my other videos, come to my classes, my Zoom courses, how to become present. Practices. I have exercises for it to remind you, getting right here, right now is going to be one of the greatest gifts you can give your child and your family and yourself. If you're interested in Zoom classes or retreats around parenting the Dragon Wings way, let me know. Look on my website, look in the app for courses or Zoom classes that are available. If you don't see any, contact me. Say, hey, I want that. And I'll create it for you and for others who can join us. So once you're relating to the now, then you need to learn to relate to me, to yourself. You are ethereal and physical. Can you create a relationship within you between those two parts of you, so that you are relating within yourself in your wholeness? This is where we talk about clearing the stories that cause us to react from things that aren't real, that keep us in the past, not in the moment. Reacting in a way that we go, why did I react that way? You got some stories in you, bud. There's stuff that's keeping you from being right with this person in this, what's real right now. A friend of mine wrote a book about parenting, but the title of her book, the number one rule of parenting, Mom has fun. Yes! When my mom was having fun, I unfortunately, I don't remember many times, unfortunately, because she wasn't that type, and it was hard. But when she was alive, when she was empowered, when she was shining, when she was having fun, it was endearing and alive, and our family felt amazing. So to me, it means when mom is empowered and shining, everything goes well in the family. It's a place to start anyway. So developing yourself, either as a man or a woman, coming into our own empowerment and our shine, is a space that changes the family. It's not shining when you're trying to do everything for everybody at the expense of yourself. It doesn't feel good to other people. It creates karma, they say. Empower yourself, shine, and you'll empower others. When you're shining and flowing and exuding, there's plenty for everyone. You don't need to give them your energy. Almost every one of my other videos will talk about this. It's such an important shift for women in this day. They've been taught a way that doesn't work for them. What works, you come through your heart to your empowerment to get this empowered heart. So you're empowered, shining in, and then you naturally shine out. Powerful. Family changing. Do it. Learn it. Commit to it. Again, this is what